Hi viewers, welcome back to another video. This is lesson number 24 of HTML and CSS, and in this lesson we are going to learn about how to style tables in CSS. So styling tables with CSS in HTML can make look and appeal of your table really too different. By default it doesn't look that much of table, but by styling you can make it look like a table, like as I have shown in here in this image. So let us talk about some important properties that we use to style our tables. So first of all, there is the border, table borders. So there are actually three main tags in table, which are table, th and td. Actually we talked about them in our previous videos of HTML, and we talked about every aspect of that. And so today we are going to talk about CSS or styling aspect of those topics. So if we provide table to if we provide the border to table th or td in these three tags, then we would be able to see a sort of table that as I have shown in this example. So let us go to our IDE and see how does it influence our style. So right inside here we have all these files from our previous lesson. So for today lesson I am going to create a new file, which is lesson number 24 CSS table styling.html, and I'm going to create a boilerplate for it, basic boilerplate, and right here I'm going to write table styling. I'm going to create a table, and inside it I'm going to create a table row. Here we are going to create 3 table rows. Let us create a basic blueprint of it for now. And in this first table row I'm going to create table head. There would be 3 table heads, which means 3 heads. And if you are not able to understand that why I'm putting these tags right here, you can refer to our previous videos. We have described each and every tags of table right there. So let us copy and paste them right here as well. And in our third row, let us actually prettify it a bit. So this is our first row, and this is our second row. I'm going to get a bit of space to it so that it may look a bit better. And this is our third row. So for first row th, I'm going to write heading 1, and in this second one I'm going to write heading 2, and this third one I'm going to write heading 3, and right after it I'm going to here these are ths, so I don't have to write ths here actually. Sorry for that if I copied it here. So I have to write here tds because these are table datas, not table headings. First ones were table headings, so td. And right here I'm going to say data 1, data 3. We are just creating this sample here so that we may be able to style our see our next properties easily. So that's why I'm spending that much of time in creating this simple basic portrait right here. So right after going into our browser, we can see here that this is our simple you can say table. So right, for styling it, let's come to our head tag and create an in-page style here. So for styling I'm going to give it the table, the td and the th. Actually I'm going to give them a border of 1 pixel solid black. We have read this property in our previous lessons as well. So right here, as you can see, these are the borders of our table. So if you are wondering that why are these double borders right here, we are going to talk about that in this video in just a minute. So let's follow the sequence. So right after giving it border, we have the next topic, which is the full width of table. So right as here, as you can see that this table is not spanning the full width, it is just containing the width as required for its content. So if we wanted to span to our full width of this screen, then we can do so as well. So let's go to our IDE. Right here we can give it actually to the table tag, we can give it the width of 100%, which means 100% view width. And right here, as you can see, this has got the style and it is spanning full width of our screen now. In this sequence, the next topic we have is double border. So the topic we just talked a second before. So actually in our previous tables, as I shown you a minute before, it is containing double border. So if we want to get only one border, not the double border, actually it is getting double border because one border is for table heading and one for table data and TRs. So that is just making it a double one. So we can just remove double of that by giving this property border collapse to by giving this border collapse to collapse, border collapse. So right inside our browser, right here, as you can see, it has got the result that we wanted for it. So after this, the next topic we have is table height or width. So for the width of the table, we have just talked about it, and let us talk about its height as well. Right inside here, it is just getting its default or the height as it needed for its content. So let us play with it. Right here, if I give it here the height of 300 pixels, 300. So right, you can see it is following that style and it is giving it the height of 300 pixels. Let us reset it and make it a bit good so that we may be able to use it for our next styles as well. So right here, it is looking pretty good. In this sequence, the next topic we have is horizontal alignment. So inside these tables, as you can see, these are by default on the left side in TDs. In THs, the data or the alignment is by default in the center, whereas in TRs or TDs, the alignment is by default to the left side, as you can see in these TRs as well. So if we want to bring them in the center or we want to bring these in the left, then we can do so as well. So for doing that, we use the property text align. So for using it, using this property, let us come into our browser and give this, not this table, we are going to give that tag to the respective type of row or the cell we want. So if we want the table head to get that text alignment, we can use it for it. Text align, by default it's at center. So if we shift it to left, that's it, it has shifted to the left of the cell. If we just keep it this way and just modify the style for the table data cell, so we can make it to the left, or it is by default at left, so we can shift it to center. So right here, as you can see, it has shifted to the center. This is the alignment, horizontal alignment actually. So after this horizontal alignment comes the vertical alignment. So as in this writing, as you can see that by default the vertical alignment of table head or table data is set to middle, which means it would be in middle vertically. So if we may go to our table and see here, it is vertically in middle. So if we want it to come in border or shift to the top, we can do so as well. So for doing so, if I may go here and style both TD, you can style one of them as well, but I am going to style both of these to show you the example. So vertical align, and in here I am going to give it bottom and see what's the influence of. Right here you can see that it has shifted towards the bottom of the cell. After vertical alignment, we have the table padding. So actually padding describes that what is the distance that we want from border and to our content. So for example, in TH and TD, I am going to give the padding of 10 pixels. So you would see that it has given that padding to it. There is a more space in top because I have given the vertical alignment of bottom. After this padding, let us come to the horizontal divider. So if we want that each of our row should get a border in bottom and not in the middles, so we can do so as well by just giving the border bottom. So right here we would just need to remove this style from here. I would comment it so that it may be a record for you. So for TDs and TH, we are going to give it the border 1 pixel solid black, but not for all sides, but we want it just for bottom. So we would write it border bottom. So right here you can see it has given it the table dividers. So after that, if we want any of our table row to highlight when we hover over it, so we can use this property of hover state. So for it, if we want our TDs only to actually TR, we will style TR here because it is going to highlight whole of the row actually. So for tr, when it gets when it is in hover state, which means when our cursor is inside it, so we want its background color to be orange. So right inside our browser, you can see when I hover, its color just changes to what we described right in our style. So after hover over table, it comes the striped table. Striped table, by it we mean that actually every even number of table, or actually even number of row, is having a different style, so it looks like a zebra striped table. So for that we can just style the nth child, which means and inside it we give the parameter of even, so it will style every even number of element child inside the tr. So if we write tr here, which means every tr, and inside this list of tr, the nth child, which means the tr which is nth child, and which nth child, which is even, which means that every even tr nth child mean every even nth child which is a tr should get this style, and which would be background gray. If we want, for instance, you can give any style for it. So inside here you can see it has given it that style, but we only have 3 rows, so the even one is only this one, so it is getting that style. So let us add another row here. Right here, let us come to our styling and copy this t row actually, and paste it multiple times. So now you can see that it has got that symmetry right here. So for the next topic, we have the table color, and if we want the table heading to have different color as compared to the other rows, so we can do so as well by using the table background. So for using that property, we would style our table heading, because we want the table heading cells to have that color. So background color, so if I may give it the primary color 54336C, so this is the color background color for th, and let us give it the color the text color to white as well. So let us see. Oh sorry, I didn't put the hash here. This is the code for hex color. So right here, as you can see, our heading has got that symmetry. After this comes the responsive table. So right here, as you can see, our table is just completely fit here. If I may go back here and paste those rows multiple times, so that it may not fit in our viewport. That's a lot of copy paste. So let us see. Right here, as you can see, only 3 headings are being shown. Oh sorry, we didn't want it this way, but just let it this way, but we should just delete it. We wanted to increase our columns, not the rows. Sorry, pardon this mistake, I have done it unintentionally, obviously. So right here, if I remove this, and right here we have only 3 rows for now, and for increasing columns, let us increase them for this. Control C. Right here, as you can see that our headings, you can put the data right here as well, so that they may span completely to their but just for example, for showing you the demonstration, I'm going to use just the heading tags. So after this all these tags are not completely being shown here. So for making it responsive and bring a bar here, so that user may scroll here, so this body is getting that scroll bar, but we don't want our body to get that scroll bar. We want our table to get that scroll bar, so that user may scroll it completely to see the whole data, so they may not miss the data right in our page. So for doing so, the simple thing we want to do is let us first shrink this table, and we want to wrap it inside a div, and you can give it a class. So for example, if I give it a class of table wrapper and copy this class for future use, and inside this here I'm going to close this div. So right inside our style, we can just style that property or that class and give it the overflow y actually, or just overflow x, which means horizontal to auto. So if we come back, then we can see that it has got a scroll bar right here, and our body doesn't has any scroll bar right now, and it looks pretty more responsive now. So that's it for responsive tables. So that's it for this video. I hope you liked the video. So if you did, so press the thumbs up button and subscribe the channel if you want next videos in this series. So thank you for watching. Goodbye.